So, students, teachers, parents, history nerds, hello everybody, and welcome to Nutshelled History, where we lay out the facts, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We start our modern world history series by looking at the Italian Renaissance. Don't forget that there's a link for a fill-in-the-blank worksheet in the description down below. Okay, let's go! The Dark Ages of Europe faded to black, pun intended, and a new age called the Renaissance, meaning rebirth in French, marked a great change in culture, politics, society, and economics. In Italy, though it's not really Italy yet, it began in the 1300s and reached its peak around 1500. Instead of focusing on religion, as in the Middle Ages, the Renaissance explored the human experience. They started to look at the world in a secular or worldly way. At the same time, there was a new emphasis on individual achievement. They were finally able to be proud of themselves. At the heart of the Renaissance was an intellectual movement called humanism. Renaissance humanists wanted to find the truth, so they studied the classical cultures of Greece and Rome to try to better understand their own times in that secular way that I mentioned before. Their schooling emphasized the humanities, subjects such as rhetoric, poetry, and history. Poet Francesco Petrarch was an early Renaissance humanist. Some call him the father of the Renaissance. He gathered a library of Greek and Roman manuscripts, thanks to the sacking of Constantinople. This opened the works of Cicero, Homer, and Virgil to Western Europeans. Now, Italy was the birthplace of the Renaissance for many reasons. It had been the center of the Roman Empire, so remains of that ancient culture were all around. Rome was also the seat of the Roman Catholic Church, an important patron of the arts. Furthermore, Italy's location encouraged trade with markets on the Mediterranean, in Africa, and in Europe. Trade provided the wealth that fueled the Renaissance. In Italy's city-states, powerful merchant families, such as the Medici family of Florence, lent political and economic leadership and supported the arts. Renaissance art reflected humanism. Renaissance painters returned to the realism of classical times by developing improved ways to represent humans in landscape. I mean, the art before was weird. Google image Gothic-era paintings. The discovery of perspective allowed artists to create realistic art and to paint scenes that appear three-dimensional. The greatest of the Renaissance artists were Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael. Maybe even the last Ninja Turtle, Donatello. Leonardo is best known for his paintings like the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper, but he was also a sculptor, engineer, anatomist, among other things. A true Renaissance man. Michelangelo is best known for his statue of David and for painting the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Raphael also did a David, but his was smaller, like about 3 times smaller. Some Italian writers wrote guidebooks to help ambitious people who wanted to rise in the Renaissance world. The most widely read of these was the Book of the Courtier by Baldassare Castiglione. His ideal courtier was a well-educated, well-mannered aristocrat who mastered many fields, a Renaissance man. Now, notice that I said aristocrat. The Renaissance, unfortunately, was not really felt by most of the common people. Niccolo Machiavelli wrote a guide for rulers titled The Prince on how to gain and maintain power. The end justifies the means. And this video ends with recap time. So, the Dark Ages were bad, and luckily some humanist dudes liked the ancient world better, so they renaissanced it by studying the classics. It began in the city-states of Italy because location. And because the Medici family was really rich, so they could pay artists to paint beautiful art and sculpt awesome statues. Can't forget the writers either. They wanted to teach you how to Renaissance properly. I hope that gave you a little perspective on the Renaissance. That is the Renaissance Nutshelled. Thanks for stopping by Nutshelled History. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Who is the best Ninja Turtle? Let us know in the comments down below.